Okay, so you're prepping for a Montessori teacher interview,
Right.
and that's awesome.
It is.
It's such a rewarding career
Absolute.
with so much potential
Mm-hmm.
to really shape young minds.
Yeah.
We want to help you really rock this interview.
Right.
And luckily, we've got some amazing resources from RoleCatcher,
Yes.
career guides,
Mm-hmm.
interview guides,
Uh-huh.
even some info about their AI tools.
Cool.
So
Ah,
think of this deep dive
okay.
as your secret weapon
Oh,
to equip you,
all right.
not just to answer questions,
Mm-hmm.
but to really impress
Yeah.
with your understanding of
Right.
what makes Montessori education so special.
Okay, let's do it.
All right, so
Yeah.
let's dive right in
Okay.
with a question that I'm sure you're going to get.
Mm-hmm.
How did you become interested in Montessori education?
Right. Almost guaranteed to come up.
Yeah, it's like the classic origin story,
Mm-hmm.
but it's more than just reciting facts, right?
It is.
They want to see that genuine passion,
Absolutely.
that spark, that enthusiasm for the method.
Yeah, they want to get a sense of you.
Exactly.
Your why.
So think back to your own experiences.
Mm-hmm.
Have you witnessed the Montessori method in action?
Yeah.
Have you seen how a carefully prepared environment
You're right.
can ignite
Mm-hmm.
a child's natural curiosity?
Yeah, that's powerful.
Or maybe the Montessori approach really resonates
Right.
with your own learning style.
Yeah.
Were you someone who thrived on hands-on activities and self-directed exploration?
Those personal connections
Yeah.
that really make your answer unique
Yeah,
and memorable.
absolutely.
Mhm.
So here's where RoleCatcher's AI
Yes.
can really come in handy.
Yeah.
So tell me more about this.
Okay, so their platform allows you to tailor your answers to
Oh,
specific schools. So
wow.
let's say you're interviewing at
Yeah.
a school that is really known for its
Mhm.
emphasis on outdoor learning. RoleCatcher's AI
Yeah.
can help you weave in examples of
Yeah.
how you've incorporated nature-based activities
Right.
into your lessons,
Yeah.
aligning your experience
Mhm.
with their specific focus.
That's so smart
It is,
because it shows that you've done your research
right?
and you're genuinely invested
Yes.
in their approach. Okay.
Yeah.
So now that they've gotten a sense of your passion for Montessori,
Right.
they'll probably want to dig into your practical experience.
Mhm.
So be prepared for a question like,
Okay.
how do you create a Montessori environment in your classroom?
Right.
This one's all about showcasing your understanding
Okay.
of how the physical space itself
Uh-huh.
becomes a teacher.
Yes.
So think beyond
Right.
desks in rows
Yeah.
and a teacher lecturing at the front of the room,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Right.
It's about creating a space
Yeah.
that encourages exploration,
Uh-huh.
independence, and a sense of wonder.
Yes.
The career guide really emphasizes the importance of
Mhm.
both indoor
Yeah.
and outdoor spaces,
Mhm.
natural light,
Mm-hmm.
and those age-appropriate materials
Right.
that are beautifully crafted
Yes.
and really invite interaction.
Yeah.
So imagine you're giving a tour
Okay.
of your ideal classroom.
Mm-hmm.
What would stand out to a visitor?
Mm-hmm.
Is it the way the materials are organized
Yeah.
on low, open shelves,
Mm-hmm.
allowing children to choose their own activities?
Yeah, that's great.
Or maybe it's the quiet hum
Right.
of focused activity
Mm-hmm.
as children work
Yeah.
independently or in small groups,
Uh-huh.
each engrossed in their own pursuits.
Right.
You want to paint a vivid picture
Mm-hmm.
that really captures
Yeah.
the essence of a Montessori learning environment.
Exactly.
So let's tackle another question that often comes up,
Yeah.
and it has to do with
Mhm.
the unique way
Right.
Montessori approaches assessment. How do you assess the progress of your students?
Oh, that's a good one.
This one can be tricky
It can.
because we're not talking about
Yeah.
traditional tests
Mhm.
and grades.
Mm-hmm.
It's about careful observation,
Yeah.
documentation,
Uh-huh.
and understanding individual learning styles.
Absolutely.
And remember,
Yeah.
you're often dealing with a multi-age classroom,
Right.
which means children
Mm-hmm.
up to 3 years apart in age
Wow.
are learning together.
Yeah, that's a lot.
How do you even begin
Mm-hmm.
to assess progress in that kind of setting?
It really is about
Yeah.
recognizing those aha moments, those
Mhm.
leaps in understanding
Yeah,
that might not show up
right.
on a standardized test.
Exactly.
Montessori teachers are like detectives,
Yeah.
constantly observing
Mhm.
and documenting each child's journey.
So what specific behaviors are you looking for?
Well, We're observing things like
Okay.
a child's concentration, their problem-solving strategies,
Okay.
their social interactions,
Yeah.
and their mastery of specific skills.
Okay.
We're also looking for signs of a growing sense of independence and self-reliance.
So how do you document all these observations?
Yeah, great question.
Is it like keeping detailed notes on each child?
Absolutely.
Okay.
We keep anecdotal records.
Yeah.
We track progress on individual learning goals.
Okay.
And we use a variety of assessment tools that are designed to be unobtrusive
Right.
and to respect the child's natural flow of work.
It's really fascinating how you
Yes.
approach all this. And it can be, I imagine, quite challenging,
It can be.
especially for someone new
Right.
to the Montessori method.
It takes practice
Yeah.
and a keen eye for detail.
But the beauty of it is
Yes.
you're not just measuring a child's academic progress.
Right.
You're really gaining a deep understanding of their individual strengths, their interests, and their needs.
Yeah.
That's so much more
It is.
holistic than simply assigning a letter grade.
Absolutely.
Now, I'm curious.
Yeah.
How does RoleCatcher's AI
Okay.
help with this particular question?
So it can actually help you
Okay.
structure your answer in a way that highlights the key elements that interviewers are looking for. For example, it might suggest incorporating phrases like
Right.
individualized learning plans or ongoing observation and documentation to demonstrate your understanding of Montessori assessment practices.
It's like having a personal coach
Yes.
in your ear,
Uh-huh.
guiding you towards a more impactful response.
I like that analogy.
Okay, let's dive into another question
Right.
that can often trip people up. Can you give an example of a challenging situation you faced in your classroom and how you addressed it?
Ah, yes, the dreaded behavioral question.
Right. They all have this one. It's designed to assess your problem-solving skills
Yeah.
and your ability to apply Montessori principles
Right.
in real-life situations.
So how do you even choose
Yeah.
the right anecdote?
Right.
Yeah, I mean, there are millions of stories you could tell.
There are.
So how do you pick the right one?
Well, you want to choose a story that demonstrates your calmness under pressure,
Okay.
your ability to guide children towards resolution,
Right.
and your commitment to respecting their individuality, even in those challenging moments.
Okay.
And remember,
Yeah.
the focus should be on how you used a Montessori approach
Okay.
to address the situation.
Can you give me an example of what that might look like?
Okay, let's say two children are having a conflict.
Okay, over a particular toy. Now, instead of simply stepping in and dictating a solution,
Right.
a Montessori teacher
Yeah.
might encourage the children to use their words, to express their feelings, and to work together to find a compromise.
That's a great example because it shows that you're not just imposing rules.
Right.
You're empowering children to develop their own conflict resolution skills.
That's what we want.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know there's a follow-up question
Okay.
that often comes with this one.
All right.
Describe a lesson you taught that was particularly successful and why.
Oh.
This is your chance to shine.
Oh, right.
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 So choose a lesson
Okay.
that highlights your creativity,
Mm-hmm.
your understanding of child development,
Mm-hmm.
and your ability to engage students
Right.
in a meaningful way.
And remember, a successful lesson isn't just about you. It's about student engagement and measurable outcomes. Yeah.
So you want to paint a picture of a classroom buzzing with excitement,
Right.
where children are actively participating and making those connections that lead to deeper understanding.
Absolutely.
You can use this question
Sure.
to demonstrate some of those core abilities that we mentioned earlier.
What?
Did the lesson require you to adapt your teaching strategies
Right.
based on the children's needs?
Uh-huh.
Did you observe social dynamics within the classroom
Yeah.
and adjust accordingly?
Good point.
It shows you're not just going through the motions.
Yeah, right.
You're constantly reflecting and refining your approach.
Absolutely.
So what are some other things to keep in mind when crafting this response?
So remember to be specific.
Okay.
Instead of just saying the lesson was engaging, describe what made it engaging. Did you incorporate hands-on materials? Did you allow for choice and autonomy within the lesson?
Okay.
Did you connect the learning to the children's real-life experiences?
Those details really make all the difference.
They do.
They bring your story to life and help the interviewers envision you in action.
Right.
Okay, let's move on to a question that can sometimes be a bit of a curveball.
Okay.
Especially in a Montessori setting.
Right.
How do you integrate technology into your Montessori classroom?
That's an interesting one because the Montessori method traditional emphasizes hands-on learning. And in fact, the career guide even states that there are no significant technological advancements in the core method itself.
So how do you answer this question without contradicting the fundamental principles of Montessori?
That's the key. Right.
You don't contradict them.
Okay.
Instead, you thoughtfully discuss how technology can enhance the experience without replacing those core hands-on principles. So think of it as a tool to support and extend learning, not to replace it.
So, for example, instead of using a computer program to teach math concepts, you might use a tablet to record children as they work on a hands-on math activity. And then later, you could review the recordings together, encouraging them to reflect on their process and their problem-solving strategies.
That's great.
You're showing that you're open to using technology in a way that aligns with the Montessori philosophy.
Exactly.
And it also highlights your ability to be innovative and to adapt to the changing needs of learners.
Good. Okay, so we've covered quite a few questions so far. And I feel like we're really starting to get a sense of how to approach these interview scenarios. But before we move on, I want to touch on one more crucial aspect that's highlighted in the career guide. And that is the importance of parent involvement.
Absolutely.
It's huge in Montessori education.
It really is.
The guide mentions that interaction with parents is a daily occurrence. So be prepared to discuss your communication style.
Good point.
Are you approachable? Do you actively seek parent input? This isn't just about formal parent-teacher meetings. It's about fostering open communication, respecting parents' insights into their children, and working together to create a cohesive learning experience that extends beyond the classroom walls.
I love that.
So think about specific examples of how you've involved parents in the past. Maybe you've invited them to share their expertise with the class. Or maybe you've created a system for regular communication about their child's progress. Or maybe you've developed a lending library of materials that families can borrow to continue the learning at home.
That's awesome.
It's all about showing that you value that parent-teacher partnership and understand its importance in a child's development.
Absolutely.
We're just scratching the surface here. But I feel like we've already uncovered some incredibly valuable insights into what interviewers are looking for. We've covered a lot of ground.
We have.
Let's take a moment to gather our thoughts, and then we'll dive into some additional questions, strategies that will help you really stand out in your Montessori teacher interview.
Awesome. Okay, so let's jump back into those interview questions. Now that we've tackled some of the big ones about your experience and approach. Interviewers will likely want to gauge your understanding of the specific age groups you'll be working with. So be prepared for a question. Like, what are some of the key characteristics of development for children in the insert age range here level, and how do you address those in a Montessori classroom?
This is where your knowledge of child development really comes into play.
It does.
The career guide provides a fantastic overview of developmental milestones for each age group, from infancy all the way through adolescence.
It's crucial to familiarize yourself with those milestones. So you can speak confidently about how the Montessori environment supports each stage of development.
Okay.
For example, if you're interviewing for a position in a primary classroom, ages 3 to 6,
okay,
you might discuss how children in the stage are bursting with energy and a desire to explore their world. Yeah, and how a prepared environment allows them to move freely, engage their senses, and develop their fine motor skills through practical life activities like pouring, spooning, buttoning.
You want to demonstrate that you understand the unique needs and capabilities of each age group and how the Montessori method caters to those needs.
Exactly.
Another question that might come up, especially if you're interviewing for a lead teacher position, is how do you approach classroom management in a Montessori setting?
Oh, that's a good one.
This one's interesting.
It is.
Because Montessori classrooms are often seen as very free-flowing and child-directed.
Yeah.
So how do you maintain order and structure without stifling that sense of autonomy?
That's the key.
Right.
It's about guiding children towards self-discipline and respect for themselves, others, and the environment.
Okay.
The career guide emphasizes the importance of clear expectations, consistent routines, and modeling appropriate behavior.
So it's less about imposing rules and more about creating a culture of respect and responsibility.
Exactly.
One way to achieve that is through the careful design of the environment. Remember, everything in a Montessori classroom has a purpose. Materials are organized. Spaces are clearly defined.
Yes, and there's a sense of order that helps children feel grounded and secure.
And when conflicts do arise, how do you address them?
We use those opportunities as teachable moments. Encouraging children to use their words, to express their feelings, and work together to find solutions. It's about fostering those social, emotional skills that are essential for a harmonious classroom community.
Now, I'm curious, how could RoleCatcher's AI help a candidate prepare for this specific question?
It can actually provide feedback on your answer, suggesting ways to strengthen your language or highlight specific examples of your classroom management skills, for instance. It might suggest incorporating phrases like positive redirection or conflict resolution strategies to demonstrate your proactive approach to maintaining a peaceful and productive learning environment.
So helpful.
Yeah.
It's like having a personalized feedback loop.
I like that.
That helps you refine your responses.
Yeah.
And ensure you're hitting all the right notes. As we move further into the interview, they'll likely want to gauge your long-term vision and commitment to the Montessori method. So be prepared for a question like, what are your professional development goals? And how do you plan to stay current with the latest developments in Montessori education?
That's a great question.
This is your chance to show.
It is.
That you're not just looking for a job. You're embarking on a lifelong journey of learning and growth within the Montessori community. The career guide mentions the importance of pursuing Montessori certification. Specifically through the Association Montessori Internationale or AMI. Can you talk a little bit more about that?
Sure. Earning an AMI diploma is a rigorous process that involves intensive training, observation, and practice teaching. It's considered the gold standard in Montessori education and demonstrates a deep commitment to the method.
So it's not something you just check off a list.
It's not.
It's really a transformative experience that shapes your understanding and approach to Montessori.
Exactly.
And it's a journey that doesn't end with certification.
It doesn't.
Ongoing professional development is crucial in this field.
Attending conferences, workshops, reading research articles, connecting with other Montessori educators. These are all ways
to stay inspired, informed, and at the forefront of the movement.
It's about that continuous cycle of learning and growth that we strive to cultivate in our students.
Absolutely.
We as educators need to embody that same spirit. I know we've been focusing heavily on interview questions, but before we wrap up, I want to circle back to something you mentioned earlier about RoleCatcher's AI tools and how they can be a real asset beyond just interview prep.
Absolutely.
RoleCatcher's platform can connect you with potential employers, provide access to a wealth of resources, and even help you tailor your resume using AI to ensure it stands out.
That's incredible.
So it's like having a personal career assistant at your fingertips.
At your fingertips, guiding you every step of the way.
I love that.
And the beauty of it is, it takes the guesswork out of the process.
Right.
You're not just blindly sending out applications.
Right.
You're strategically targeting opportunities that align with your skills and experience.
Yes.
Imagine getting noticed before you even apply.
That's amazing.
That's the power
it is.
of staying ahead of the curve and utilizing the tools that are available to you.
Yes.
We've covered a lot of ground today.
We have.
So let's take a moment to recap some key takeaways for our listeners as they prepare for their Montessori teacher interviews. First and foremost, remember that your passion for the Montessori method is your greatest asset.
It is.
Let that shine through in your answers.
Absolutely.
Share your experiences, your insights, and your genuine enthusiasm for this approach to education.
Absolutely.
Don't be afraid to tell stories. Anecdotes are a powerful way.
Yes, they are.
To demonstrate your experience and showcase those core Montessori abilities.
Talk about those aha moments. The challenges you've overcome, those lessons that sparked a love of learning in your students.
Preparation is key.
It is.
Use resources like RoleCatcher's AI to tailor your answers to specific schools and anticipate those tricky questions. Research the schools you're interviewing with. Familiarize yourself with their philosophies and programs. And be prepared to articulate how your skills and experience align with their vision.
Good.
And finally, think long term. Where do you see yourself growing within the Montessori community? Show interviewers that you're not just looking for a job. You're embarking on a lifelong journey of learning and leadership.
Good point.
We've covered so much today.
We have.
Hopefully you feel much more prepared to tackle those Montessori school teacher interviews.
Good luck.
But remember, this is just the beginning of your journey. Keep learning. Keep exploring. And keep that passion alive.
Absolutely.
And don't forget, the search for the perfect Montessori teaching position is a two-way street.
It is.
You're interviewing them just as much as they're interviewing you.
Yeah, good point.
So it's important to remember, you're not just trying to impress them. You're also trying to see if this school is the right environment for you.
And two-way street.
Yeah. Don't be shy about asking questions. That give you a real sense of the school's culture and how things work day to day.
Exactly.
So beyond those basic questions about salary and benefits, what kind of questions should candidates be asking? What will give them a true sense of whether this school is a good match?
One area you could explore is their approach to parent communication. Do they have established systems for regular dialogue? How do they handle disagreements or concerns from parents?
That's a great point. Because as we discussed earlier, parent involvement is such a cornerstone of Montessori education.
Huge.
You really want to make sure you're on the same page.
Absolutely.
When it comes to communication and collaboration.
Yeah, for sure.
And while you're at it, ask about their approach to discipline. How do they guide children towards appropriate behavior? Do they emphasize natural consequences? Do their methods align with your own philosophy? These are questions that can really reveal a lot about a school's values and how they approach the social emotional development of children.
For sure.
And don't forget about your own professional growth. Ask about the school's commitment to ongoing learning opportunities for their teachers.
Do they encourage attendance at conferences or workshops?
Okay.
Do they provide mentorship programs.
Because we've discussed being a Montessori teacher is a journey of continuous learning and growth.
Absolutely.
You want to make sure the school supports that journey.
Yeah, 100%.
By asking thoughtful questions.
Right.
You're not just gathering information.
No.
You're also demonstrating your engagement and your genuine interest in being a part of their community.
It shows initiative.
It does.
It shows that you're invested.
It shows them you're not just looking for any job.
Right.
You're looking for the right fit.
Exactly.
A place where you can contribute your talents, grow as an educator, and make a real difference in the lives of children.
That's what it's all about.
That's the beauty of Montessori education.
Yeah.
It's not just a career.
Right.
It's a calling.
It is.
It's about fostering a love of learning, nurturing each child's unique potential, and creating a more peaceful and compassionate world.
I love that.
Beautifully said.
Thank you.
We hope this deep dive has given you the knowledge and confidence to ace those interviews and find the perfect Montessori teaching position.
Good luck out there.
Good luck.
Wait.
And remember, the world needs passionate educators.
We do.
Like you.
Yes.